thinks he's going to win this election, which, believe it or not, is actually a pretty good sign for Kamala Harris. Because when you think you got it in the bag, you tend to make bad decisions. After the first debate, Trump was so convinced of his inevitable victory that he picked J.D. Vance as his VP candidate. He could have chosen just a regular-ass MAGA Republican like Doug Burgum, but instead, he let the creepy billionaires who hold his leash install the insanely unlikable and off-putting Vance. And now that he's even more convinced there's no way he can lose, you get things like having a rally in New York City where you dump on Puerto Ricans, black people, and pretty much everyone else. You get rallies in blue New Mexico and press conferences in deep red Florida. You get putting Elon Musk in charge of your get out the vote operations and cutting ads where he calls Kamala Harris the C word. These are not the actions of a candidate trying to win a competitive election. It's the actions of someone who thinks he's already won. And of course Trump thinks he's already won. He's got an army of sycophants telling him everything he wants to hear. He literally started his own social media network so he could live in a big gentle hug box, and anyone with half a brain in the MAGA sphere has already split, leaving a bunch of incompetent yes men who have no idea what they're doing. And sure, maybe the polls are underestimating him yet again. But you know what? Even if that is true, there's one campaign that's still out there knocking on doors, making phone calls, reaching out to people, and fighting every single step of the way until they cross that finish line. Kamala's out there meeting with the Puerto Rican community in Philly while Trump's cronies call them a big pile of floating garbage. She's holding rallies in Houston, not to fuel her ego, but to highlight the horror stories that Trump's abortion ban has created for women all across the country. Tim Walz is reaching out to Native American leaders in Arizona and Nevada to make sure their voices are heard. He's even playing crazy taxi with AOC on Twitch. My point is, when you get complacent, you get lazy. And when you get lazy, you lose. And for all his faults, racist, fascist, convicted felon, sexual abuser, you can't say that Donald Trump lacks confidence. He clearly thinks he has it in the bag, and he's probably not bullshitting, but that's where the actual problem is. Because if and when he does lose, he's not going to accept it, and neither are his army of goons who think there's no chance someone like Kamala could beat him. The only way to shut him up once and for all is to make sure it's not even close. So whatever you're doing now, do more of it, because polls and rallies aren't going to win this election for Kamala. You are.